Yes, last session we have come up with introduction to object-oriented programming system. That was all theory. I made you aware about that OOPS introduction, in which we discussed why we are going for OOPS. Then we have discussed features of OOPS. In that features, I listed five: data hiding, data abstraction, data abstraction. Then we have inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. These all were features of OOPS. After that, we studied about different softwares in which OOPS programming is available. And in that, we discussed about C++, Java, C#.NET, VB.NET, Simula, Smalltalk, Eiffel, Turbo Pascal 5.0. These all are different languages or software in which OOPS programming is available. And then then we studied about two components of OOPS. They're dependent on each other, in which we discussed about class and object. Today, we are going to study about class. Before I go with this, make this point very clear. From day one of our C# program, we entered into practicals. We are writing in every program class, every program we are writing class, but we never have focused on that term. But today it has become compulsory for us to know about class. So what is it? First and basic point is class is called element. Class is called element. Hence, you cannot create a class local to a method. Means inside a method, we cannot create class like this. Class demo error it is. Error. Because you're trying to create a class inside a main method, which is not possible. So C# doesn't support this. So for that reason, what I do is I go on top and I create here. Here I create. What I create is class, some name, demo. Yes. Now you have created a class. Now, another point is when you're creating a class, and I said it is called element. I said it is element. Now I come with another point that already we have studied about even other element as well in my introduction classes. That was enum. So enum is one element, class is one more element. Like that, we have many what do you call elements available in C#. So others we have not yet studied. One is called structures, delegates. We have another called interfaces. So altogether, there are five elements: class, interface, enum, structure, delegate. These all are. Now, second point. Second point is class is called user-defined data type. Class is called user-defined data type. Why it is called? I'll get back to you on that part. Don't worry. Now, coming to the next thing, what we learn is, for example, in main method, I create A, B, C. Where are these variables created now? Inside main method. Because they are created inside main method, they are called local variables. This A, B, C are called local variables. Same variables, if I create inside a class, now remember, terminologies change. Now you call them as fields. Here they were called, because they were inside a method, local variables. Local variables. These are called fields. Fields is a technical term. What is general term? Data members. General term. Data members. So A, B, C are now what? Data members. Plus what else you can write in a class? I can write void X, void X, void Y. These two are called methods. This is a method. This is a method. So together I mean to say methods. Method is a technical word. What is general term we use? We call them as member function. This also similar terminology. Member function. X is method, Y is method. They are also called member function. So two member functions. X and Y both are member functions. A, B, C are fields, also called data members. Plus, plus. Class can even have one more thing, that which you call as int R. Interesting thing is, if I put semicolon, it becomes a field. If I put parenthesis, it becomes a method. For that reason, what I do is, I don't put semicolon, I don't put parenthesis. Instead, I use flower brackets. I use flower bracket. And remember one thing, since R is not being followed by parenthesis, so definitely it cannot be a method. After R, there is no semicolon, so definitely it is not a field. Now, question is, if it is not a method, if it is not a field, then what is it? Answer. R is called property. And property will have get and set methods or get set blocks. Property will have what now? Get and set blocks. Get block, set block. Okay. So now I'm not talking anything about property. Error is coming. Let it come. Important is not error. Important is to understand what all class will allow you to write under basics of class element. I'm not explaining you anything about property. Probably it may take around 4 to 5 sessions to come to the topic where we discuss more in detail about property. But till that time, we will be working only on fields and member methods. So now I come to a point of how you define a class. So now you can say class is a collection of three things. Collection of what are they? Fields, methods, properties. Fields, methods, properties. You don't want to put flower brackets and all, then you can say get semicolon, set semicolon. Yes, this is called property. Both syntaxes we have. Get can be followed by flower bracket to write something in it. Set can be followed by flower bracket to write something in it. Or get set can directly be even set with what? Semicolon. Here, this is a property. This R is a property. Okay. And Y is a method. X is a method. A, B, C are fields. You can see A, B, C here, brackets में, field. A is part of demo class. B is part of demo class. C is part of demo class. X and Y are also part of demo class. R is also a part of, yes. And you can see this very clearly. Fields, no, you'll find here symbol, a symbol. Fields. Method symbol will be like this. Here, this symbol is for method. Property symbol will be like this, like property symbol it is. That's it. Class is collection of fields, methods, properties. Now one thing is that if they ask in interviews what is a class, either you say fields, method, properties, or you can say simple. Class is collection of members. Bus over. Simple definition. Members. Now if they ask what are those members, then you can describe fields, methods, properties. If they don't ask us to describe, then you wind up with saying only three, just members. All are together. All these three together are called what? Members of a class. What a class can have now? Members. Members can be what now? Fields, method, properties. Is it compulsory to have a class with all these three? Definitely not. No, not at all. Can a class have only fields? Yes. Can a class have only methods? Yes. Can a class have only properties? Yes. Class can have any one, class can have any two, class can have any three, class can have nothing also. Class can be empty, class can have any two combination of members, class can have only one member. It all depends on the requirement, but it doesn't make any specific syntax that class should compulsory have this doesn't make any such rule. Now, another important thing about class, especially when you can have all these members, remember whenever we create a class enclosed with members, those members can be provided with access modifiers. You can provide with what? Access modifiers. And remember, as of now, I won't explain you anything about those access modifiers. Probably in the next part of the session, you'll get to know about it. Now I'm just going to make a list. What are they? Class can have members, and members can be provided or members can be created with any one of five access modifiers. Any one of five access modifiers. What are they? Private, public, protected, internal. Protected internal. Once again, I repeat, five access modifiers: private, public, protected, internal, protected internal. And among these five access modifiers, when you don't write any access modifier to the member, by default it becomes private. By default, it means currently in my class demo, I have created three fields, I created two methods, and I created one property. All those together are called members, and all are created by default as private. All are by default, they are private. Right. And now, when you go further on this part, remember another important thing, and the point is you can declare a field in class, plus you can even initialize like this. Possible. Declaration and initialization, both at a time. You can do that in a class. 100% possible. No doubt. You can assign. Okay. Can I go in this way? First you create a field, then you assign c equals 24. This is error. Error. Class cannot have assignment statement. Declaration initialization is possible, like I did for B, but for C, I declared, later I have assigned. That is not allowed, I'm saying. You cannot. Impossible. You cannot assign a value to field in a class. Not only assignment, you can't even write console.writeLine something called welcome. I didn't say that class is a collection of output statements. Even don't try to write while loop. I b less than or equal to 24, less than or equal to 24, block open, block close. Wrong. All are wrong. Class cannot have assignment statement. Class cannot have mathematical expression. Class cannot have output statement. Class cannot have control statement. Nothing, nothing. You cannot write. Fixed, fixed things are in the class. Fixed things. What are those fixed? Fields, methods, properties. That's it. You are writing something additional is something which is wrong, which is not possible at all. Either you'll have fields, you'll have methods, and you'll have properties. But what is it you cannot have? These things are invalid, I'm saying. Okay? And one more important thing. One more. As far as C sharp is concerned, you can create a class in different ways. Or you can say we have class in different categories. Different categories. Which means what is this class then? What is this class? This class which you have created is a normal class, simple class, you can say. Normal class, simple class. Then what else you have then? We have something to study coming classes now. Something to study about static class. Then we have something to study about sealed class. Sealed, SCALED. Sealed class. Then we have abstract class. Then concrete class. Then partial class. Then anonymous class. Almost we have around 7 types of classes that we are going to study about. 7 types. Normal class, static class, sealed class, abstract class, concrete class, partial class, anonymous class. And another important thing, this is possible. I can have this. I can say class sample. One more class I created. Here I put int abc. Here also I put int abc. Possible. Simple. I wind up now saying a simple point. A two or more classes can have same members. Go for it. 100% possible. Two or more classes can have what? Same members. Perfectly valid. But within a class, don't repeat. That is wrong. I try. Void A. Already A is a field. Again, on that, you cannot create a method. It says sample already contains a definition for A. Right? And one more interesting thing, especially inside a class, whenever we write fields, methods, and properties, Obviously, we don't write like this A, B, C. And only for basic understanding point of view, I'm giving. But in general, if I'm creating a class for something called student, and this is the class I'm creating for employee, then I'll have student information in it. Int, RNO, roll number, character, sorry, string, name. Then I'll say uh, something called as a integer or float, double, marks. Then in this integer, emp id, string, emp name, double, emp salary. So whenever you have such type of things to write in your class, it's always recommended. It's always recommended to have first character of every field to be with capital letters. Okay, how do you write them? You have to say the best way. Right. RNO, name, marks, EMP, ID, EMP, name, EMP, salary. Always, always. Don't write all fields in lowercase. Don't write all of them in uppercase also. If I have method, if I have method to write here, void, get, EMP, details, void, show, EMP, details. See the way I'm writing. Get EMP details, get employee details, get G capital, EMP E capital, details G capital, show S capital, E employee E capital, details G capital. Same way here also you can say get student info here all right. Void get student info. Yes. Void show student info. Yes. What did you do? In every method, if you see my first one, get G capital, student S capital, I input. That is a rule. That is, I'm not saying that it is syntax. That is best way of writing members in a class. That is a best way of specifying members in a class. That is what even interviews sometimes they specify. They specify. They ask this way of writing a class, this way of defining a class, this way of creating a class. This is called camel notation. Camel notation. So interviews may, if they ask you with a question, say, I mean, if they're asking you to design a class for something, so definitely not all. I'm saying specific. Sometimes they focus like design a class for so and so, so and so, so and so, having so and so, so and so, so and so, doing so and so in it, and last में they'll mention design a class following camel notation. Camel notation. It means we should not write all in lowercase, we should not write all in uppercase, rather we should write initial characters uppercase, in between characters. If it is multiple terminology, then try to use in between characters as multiple characters. Sorry, capital letter, uppercase. Initial character also capital letter, in between characters also capital letter. What is it called? Camel notation. That is the best way that even C sharp may, when you go to C sharp, maximum things whatever Microsoft has provided with built-in classes, they all are with camel notation only. Camel notation. Okay. Hmm. That is one more rule. Now let's go further. Hmm. Now I remove all this. Listen to me carefully for this part as well. What I conclude is I try to have wantedly two classes by same name. Error. Now, you should be very careful and you should be very cautious when I'm using this word, when I'm going with this explanation. What am I saying is the question is asked like, can a program or project have two or more classes with same name? Question. Program or project. But I can have one more program. In the program also, I will write class student. So now project has two programs and that project has two programs. In these two programs, we have three classes. In the three classes, all three classes are having same name. One is two classes with same name in one program and one more class in another program having same name. The question is, first point straight away, it is compile time error. You cannot. You cannot have two classes with same name. Error it is, compile time error. Now if they ask, what if I need it? I want compulsory, I want. Then question arises, why do you want? What are the situation of? I can say like this. This is class student containing admin information, administration, like student name, his address, his admission number, his roll number, his email ID, his phone number, his alternate number, his parent details, mm, address, everything, all personal information, administration related information. Ah, same student will have his his fee related information. Better, right? Fee information, like what are the installments, or what is the term fee, how is he paying the term fee, what is the approach in that, all those things will be covered a part of this one. What in the second class? Third, I'll have third class student. Now, in this class, I want to have all his library information regarding what are the books he has taken from the library, whether he has paid for the fee of the library or not, whether he has taken how many books he can be issued, uh, all that stuff. And again, he'll have one more, say class student, which deals with all his examination department exams information, how many internals he has written, how many exams he didn't write, what is his performance in the exam, how many marks he scored, what are his marks of previous years, all that will have in one file. Yes, everywhere I'll write about student only. In internal information differs, but student only, no? When you go to school, when you go to school, when you go to school, you find school is one place now. It's like one block. It's one place. In that block, when you want to pay if you want to talk to regarding your kid, then obviously we go to administration department regarding change of phone number, regarding change of address. You update management regarding that. If your email ID is changed, if your phone number is changed, you don't inform in accounts department. You update in admin. Admin will update in all other departments. Now, if a student want to collect some books from the library, he'll go to library, separate department is there, but all are in school only, no? So situation arises, I may need like this, but accidentally I can't write. That is different story. But remember, if you want to have more than one class with the same name, as I already said, not possible. But now I'm saying that yes, possible. How? Compulsory. These classes should be marked as partial. Yes, gone. All errors are gone. Now question comes now, if they ask in interview, can we create same class or can we create more than one class with same name within a program or within a project? Can we create within a class and within a project? Answer is first point, it is compile time error, no doubt. Then what is the alternate solution? In order to create that, you should mark those classes with partial keyword. You should mark those classes with what? Partial keyword. Now I'm not going to explain anything about it. Only remember this. Coming classes, a separate topic is there. I'll cover that. Partial class, partial method, but not now. Now go further. Now what I'll do? Integer roll number string s name, that is student name, double internal mark or internal 1 mark, internal mark 1 mark. Internal 1 mark. Yes, I can have. Now what I want to conclude here is, here semicolon, I'll write those get students info. Yes. Now remember, here I'll write here console.writeLine. I'll write students input, students information, some message I'm writing. Now here I give roll number equal to 1001, name equal to Sharif, marks equal to 190.22. Okay. Now remember, class always contains two types of data. Class always contains two types of data. What are they? One, here, if I ask you how many members are there in the class student, so obviously your answer will be 4 members. Answer is what now? Four members. What are those members? Roll number, S name, internal 1 marks, get students info. Well, 3 fields, 1 method. Altogether, you will have 4 members. Acha, what are those categories in the members? 3 fields, 1 method. How many members? 4. What categories? 3 fields, 1 method. So now question is, how many members are in word class? Your answer was 4. You are not counting 1001, you are not counting Sharif, you are not counting that next value, you are not counting that. You are counting what is created in a class. Why you are not counting 100? Because 1001 is not a part of class. 1001 has become a part of roll number. Sharif has become a part of name. That marks has become a part of marks. That value, some number I gave now, that number is part of what? Marks. 190.22 is a part of marks. So they are not part of class, they are part of member. I'm not counting console.writeLine. Input students information. That is a part of method, not a part of class. So now I say, whichever members part of class, they are called metadata. Those which are part of metadata are called actual data. It means 1001 Sharif and that marks 190 something I gave, they all come under category of actual data, roll number, S name, internal marks, get student info, they all come under metadata. Remember, coming classes may regarding metadata, we have a separate topic to study, and that we are going to discuss under a concept called reflection, or it is also called introspection. Reflection, or it is called introspection. Not now. Just remember these 2 points also. And this is what my personal. Coming to the next part, that what we are going to study. It's something related to the second component, that is called object. Till now we studied about class. Now we are going to talk on object. Now coming to the object, coming to this term object, first point, object is defined as instance of a class. Object is defined as what? Instance of a class. Or another important thing about object, object is always of reference type. Object is always of a reference type, right? So first we will justify these two, then we'll proceed for rest of it. Here I write class demo integer a comma b comma c. I created 3 fields. Now remember, these are the fields in another class, that is demo. Now we are trying to access it from another class. First point, not possible. Directly you cannot. If it is within a class, you can access directly. Now you're trying to access from one class members in another class. As demo is part of, fields are part of class demo, and you're accessing them in class program. You're accessing them in what class? Program. Okay. For that reason, now rule is in order to access the members created in class, compulsory you require to create an instance. How? Like this: demo class name variable d1. It's only class variable. Class variable. Class variable. This is class name. Demo is a class. D1 is a variable. Class variable. What do you call this? Object. Demo D1. You put your cursor. You see, variable D1 is declared but never used, and it says local variable. This class, demo class D1. You find a message D1 variable, local variable, right? So local variable, recollect, local variable, memory is allocated in stack. Go for it. I'll explain what is happening. Paintbrush. This is stack memory. Stack. D1. D1. Yes, that's it. Stack has D1. D1 is ready to hold address. That's it, because only D1 you have. What is missing? You don't have memory for members. A, B, C memory you don't have. When you don't have memory for members, how do you use it? Obviously, you try to put statements, error no. D1 dot A equal 12, error. B equal 23, error. C equal to D1 dot C equal to D1 dot A plus D1 dot B. Both are errors. See, all are errors. D1, first D1, error. Use of unassigned local variable D1. It's saying when you have not allocated memory for ABC, how come you can use D1 in the program? First allocate memory. So just by creating local variable, you are not allowed to access demo class members. That fields, demo class fields, you cannot access. Then what to do? You should write here equal to new demo semicolon. Now, what are all this? Yes. Now let me define. This will work for data type. Data type. Then variable, object, new dynamic memory allocation, demo, call to constructor. Three things I'll write here. First, I'm talking about demo, which is actually a class name. But what is it? How is it being used? It's being used as data type. Then D1. D1. What did I say that is D1 for use? D1 is like variable or object. Variable or object. What for new asset? New is for dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation. What is this demo you said? This demo is call to constructor. We don't know what is it. I'm just writing the terminology, the what we use for it. That's call to constructor. And now important, this part, this part, this one I mean to say. This one is called instance. Now what internal will happen? Internal. Now come heap memory. Heap memory. Yes. Because of writing new. Because of writing new. Now we have been allocated by memory to ABC in heap. I'll write here. Heap memory. What are the members? A, B, C. Three fields. A, B, C. Three. This is one field. This is one field. This is one. Three fields. A, B, C. This is memory of A. This is memory of B. Memory of C. Yes. All these are clubbed. These all are clubbed like one block. They are clubbed like this, like one block. And default values available in each of this block is 0. Default value 0. And all these are provided by one address. I don't know what's the address. I'm just keeping it as pointer one, only for understanding. You'll have an address. So let me first show. All are containing zeros. This is 0. This is 0. This is 0. And this memory is pointing as pointer 1. And this pointer 1 is copied to D1, which now indicates that D1 is referring to this memory. D1 is now referring to that memory. When this story is happening, after writing new demo, these all things will happen. If you don't write new demo, then D1 will have only for memory will be only for D1, that too in stack, and D1 cannot touch anything which is available in the class, as I already demonstrated. Then how do you do that? You have to write new demo, then it will allocate separate memory for that, and each value default will contain 0, and then you can access. Yeah, print. You can print all values you print. But rule we have that currently I cannot, because by default all these are now treated as private. You cannot access them now. It's error now if you try to access. D1.a error concatenate. D1.b error concatenate. D1.c error. All errors not accessible due to protection level. Here inaccessible due to its protection level. A cannot access, B cannot access, C cannot access. Now, to get the default values, I add public now. Control F5. You'll get now 0, 0, 0. Privates you cannot access. Now you should get all three zeros. Now story is whether it is private or public. Background story is same only. Public members also allocate memory in the same way in heap. Private also will allocate memory in the same way in heap. No, that doesn't make any point in differentiating that. Same approach. Right. This is what internal happens whenever you allocate memory. Now, as fields are allocated by memory, same way if I write a method also, method will also have memory here. Extend continuation. Continuation. Okay. And before I go further, I'll add one more statement also so that you'll have even reflection of it. Demo D2 equals to D1. I said, what does it mean now? What exactly you have done now? You have another object now. Another object. Yes. Another object. Name of this object is D2. D2. D2 is object. D2. Now what D2, what is the statement that happened with this line is, whatever the reference you have in D1, that reference has been copied to D2. Whatever the reference we have in D1, the same reference is copied to D2. Yes, this is copied reference. Yes. Now, which means indirectly now D2 also points to D2 also points to same memory. Same. But still, when you read it, you call D2, you call D2 as alias, other name of D1, other name of D1, alias. Now, you cannot have two objects with same name to the same class. This is wrong. Demo D1, new demo, error. Error it is. Error. You have D3. Not possible. D1, D3. Two instances. What is internal story now? D3 is one more object. Separate memory for D3. Separate memory. Because you said new demo. New demo. So obviously D3 is now second instance. Now question is asked now. Now question is asked. How many objects you created for class demo? How many objects you created for class demo? Answer is 3. Then they ask, how many instances you created for class demo? Now answer is only 2. D2 is not actual instance. D2 has become alias. It is referring to an instance of D1. Instances 2, objects 3. Instances 2, objects 3. And you cannot repeat the objects to the same class. You cannot repeat the object like object created to one class. You cannot have same object to another class. That is also wrong. That's it. So from my side, I'm done.